Hey guys, how are we all doing? Um, as I said on those of you who know, and those of you who have liked it already, I have a music page. It's called Colin Pender Behind the Music. I'm gonna be doing a whole host of different things, both musically and a little bit otherwise as well. So yeah, those of you that liked it, thank you very much. Those of you who haven't yet liked it, please do. I'd appreciate it, and yeah, tell all your friends. Um, about it. And those of you who don't have a fucking clue who I am, hello. And I hope you'll find at least a couple of useful things along the way as you watch my videos. This is the first video I'm making for the page. As I said in the last status, those of you who follow the page will know. I said in the last status I was going to make this video today, and I said I was going to start with just explaining a few techniques and stuff that I've found useful over the years to for playing different kinds of music. It's just coke, I promise. Um, so yeah, I'm going to start with a little bit of that. Those of you who don't play a musical instrument or play guitar, um, if you're just not interested in that type of thing, then yeah, don't pay attention to me for the next 2 or 3 minutes or so. But after that, I'm gonna be talking about some of the bands I play in. I'm gonna be talking about Norderobring. We're going to be talking about In Search of Sanity, who are going into the studio this coming summer to record their long overdue EP. It's going to be called Two Stops Past Barking. You can find us In Search of Sanity on Facebook. Give us a like. We're wonderful guys, apparently, even if a little bit unfortunate, but more on that later on. I'm also going to talk to you about my newest band, Easy Access, because it's in the very early stages just now, so not much has been said about it. So I'm going to take you through a bit of what we're all about. And with regards to my bands and stuff, I'm going to be showing you a couple of riffs. And I did say any requests, but I realised it was like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning when I asked that. So I haven't had any requests yet, so it's gonna be a kind of general thing. I'm gonna take you through a few of my favorite riffs, the ones that I came up with, how I came up with them, the ones that other people wrote my favorite bits of those, and so on. So I'm gonna start um, with a particular technique, guitar-wise, that I've found useful, and if you play guitar, you should too. This finger, the pinky, is a very useful finger on the guitar because you can go into a whole different field of other chords and things with it, which I'm going to show you a bit of just now. Oh, right, okay. So those of you who know, and some of you who know and hate me for it, I play a lot of bluesy style stuff, and I use various chord combinations. Usually, I use a lot of sixths and sevenths for that, which I'm about to show you. And the easy way of forming sixths and sevenths is by on the guitar anyway, is by using your pinky. I'm not really clued in on how it works on other instruments, but as far as I'm aware, it's just any chord is just a combination of notes played in a certain order. But yeah, I'll come on to that a bit more in another video because I could be here all day talking about that. But those of you who like blues, those of you who like classic heavy rock, even some of you who like heavy metal, will probably like, or at least have heard at some point in your lifetime, Status Quo, a band called Status Quo. Um, and the pinky comes in very handy when playing Status Quo because it's a real easy way of getting sixth and seventh. If you take a seventh fret, put the root note, the seventh fret on the A string, and then you put in the fifth note, which is a B. So, and because it's an E chord, you can hit the open E string as well. There's a really one of my favorite riffs that I play uses that at the start, I'll explain that in just a minute. But if you play the status quo thing, as it's called, that's the fifth. That's E5, the fifth chord. And then you put your pinky on the 11th fret. That's the sixth, and then the seventh is up another fret. So you get the fifth, sixth, seventh, and then you go back to the sixth again, I think. Try leaning a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing there. So you can see the seventh fret here, fifth, sixth, seventh, sixth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then you just, once you've mastered, train your pinky up. Use the pinky for loads of things, because it's really once you're able to use it, you play it like this. Okay, and once you've mastered that, you put them. When I was learning guitar, I used to call them triangles, because literally just because when you play the rhythm, your hand goes in more or less a triangle shape. I'm gonna show you some 3-chord blues, just using that technique, and you can do a whole host of stuff with this. So I'm gonna go in A. So I'm gonna start with A, and just play 3 different chords blues. So we're gonna use A, D, E. That's low E. They're an octave out, E and E. Okay, so that's that. I said it more about using the pinky to form sixth and seventh. You can play sevenths as basic chords, like that's D, and that's D7, D and D7. But an easy way of getting a seventh is to, if you fret the chord, basic chord E, take some of the volume off so you can hear the actual chord rather than just the gain. And then you go up to, you just use that formation. It's F, and then G, A, B, C, D, and then back to E again. To get the seventh, what you do is, if we take the combination A, D, and E again, right? So you've got the A chord, and you fret your pinky in the second string on the 7th fret where you play the A as a bar chord. That's A6, A7, that's A6, and then A again. And then you can do that you do that exactly the same for the D chord, and then E, and so on. So if you wanted to play the thing I played earlier, but more sort of, Elvis sort of blue suede shoes style, you can just do that. Anyway, enough of blues for now. If there's any of that you want to ask me questions on, feel free to drop a comment on this video, comment the Facebook page, message the Facebook page, email me, phone me if you really want, but it's kind of difficult to explain over the phone, but if you're that way inclined, Skype me I suppose, carrier pigeon, come to my door, meet me in the street, whatever. If you want to ask me questions, you'll find a way. Okay, so on to, excuse the mess in my hands by the way, I've been working in the shed today, respraying and trying to get, I'm frantically to get a guitar ready for tomorrow. Oh yes, aha, tomorrow. Now tomorrow what happens is there's this thing in the Classic Grand, it's called North of the Wall. It's a heavy metal festival. I think there's 12 bands or so, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But it's round about that. It's on from I think 3 o'clock-ish till round about 10:30. It's only a tenner on the door, so come along to that. I'll be playing with my band Norderobring. It's our last ever show. Yeah, I know, don't all cry at once. It's our last ever show, and we're the only returning band. So if you want to see us, get on down to see us one last time, as it were. It'd be good to see you all there. We'll be there. Fucking taps off, paint on, all that jazz. To do it over one last time. So yeah, come along to that. I'm trying to get guitar ready for that at the moment. Hope it'll be dry in time. Anyway, enough of my DIY exploits. Norderobring. Now, been on the go for about 2 years. Most of the people that watch this video know, so I'm not going to go necessarily into the history of Norderobring and how it came about and all the rest of it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to generalise. I'm going to talk to you about a few of the songs and a few of my favourite riffs in the songs. A couple in which I wrote or contributed to. Some of them I didn't, but I just love them. So I'm going to start by talking about some of that. Now, the first riff I wrote for Norderobring, which is it's always been a favourite of mine, even though the song is, it was the first song we wrote, so you know it was kind of, a lot of it was testing the water kind of thing. But yeah, the song called As the Raven Flies, the opening riff to As the Raven Flies, was the first. It really just came from messing about. But as I say, it was the first song we wrote, so it was just kind of to try and get us to play together. It's really, really simple, and it only involves 3 chords. And how it's played, it's in E, and it starts on E, and then it's G, back to E, then A, E, then A, G. So just the way to sort of start, if you want to try and play that, then the way to start just fretting the chords in the order that they're coming. So it would be now this hand, getting a bit closer so I can. Now the way to do alternate picking, tremolo picking, or if you want to use layman's terms, fast as fuck picking, it doesn't really matter. The easiest way to start learning to do that is to do it in sort of threes. So you go down, up, down. And then I actually got a lot better at this because a friend of mine told me if to do it to a metronome and try and increase the number of down and up strokes I get for each click. As that got me. That's how I got to play it really fast, like without my wrist dying. So if you have a metronome, do that. Otherwise, just sort of work at it. Just try and get faster and faster. Just do it in threes first of all, and then put more strokes in. Just kind of. It's kind of called a gallop. It's quite Iron Maiden-y. And the verse riff for our song, the Norderobring song, The Dreamer, is quite like that. It's first time and then the second time. But I'll go into the riffs and different bits in more detail in other videos. But that's what's known as a gallop, and then you sort of just get faster so you can go like this. Once you can get to that speed, then you should be confident enough to do Raven properly, which goes. That'll always be one of my favourite Norderobring riffs because it's the first one we sort of put together, and it's really simple because I wrote it, so it's really simple. Most of my riffs are. I just mentioned there the song "The Dreamer." Now there are a good few riffs in "The Dreamer," but my favourite bit I would probably have to say is Duncan, the vocalist. He wrote "The Dreamer" all by himself, so it's essentially his song. So I didn't write this, but I particularly love this bit. It's like a sort of middle section. It happens just before the chorus, where everything stops and then there's a bit of lead, and then everything does a thing and then stops and then there's a bit of lead, and it does that for one section, and then it does everything plain, but with it's a really well structured section, and it goes. And again, I'll slow that down and show you how it all fits together in another video, because I don't want to make these videos too long. So yeah, that's my favourite riff from The Dreamer. Usually it's a two guitar thing. So my guitar partner Mitchell, he does the. I was just doing that to kind of show you, and so on. Excuse me. What was I gonna do next? Yeah. One of my personal favourite Norderobring songs, and it gets the piss constantly taken out by Duncan, because the intro to Last Road Home was my creation, if you like. And initially it was really quite slow. So initially the intro to Last Road Home went. But then that got speeded up to make it more metal, and then it became. And that is why Duncan thinks it sounds like Thunderstruck. In fact, he actually sings the opening to Thunderstruck at a practice, just to wind me up. But yeah, I'm really proud of that. And the other bit of the song that I did for that was the chorus. So the initial video is still on YouTube, actually. You should look it up. It's called Celtic-ish Thing, I think. And you can see me doing the slow version. And then there was this chord combination which became the chorus that is made up of sort of ascending and descending combinations of chords, and it went. Fuck, how did it go? okay. I've missed out Highlander. Because there's loads of cool little bits in Highlander. Highlander's the shortest song. It's the kind of closest to a single that you'll get from us. But I really like it. It was called the Glory Riff, I think. Is that either the Glory Riff or the Groovy Riff? I can't remember which. But it's the riff just after the intro that goes. That because you kind of keep coming back to that, and it's a good chunky riff. I like good chunky riffs. Right, okay. So moving swiftly on from that, as I say, I'll break some of these songs down and talk about different bits of them in another video because this is already getting stupidly long. So best to last if you're that way inclined. The song Pictish Blood, which is usually the last song we play, but I'm giving nothing away for North of the Wall. The final whatnot, there'll be a few surprises, that's all I'm saying. My favourite bit in Pictish Blood, and it's because it does, you know that you do the thing in the blues where you go. So it sort of starts and then it goes up. So it's like you play one thing and then you play it up, or you play it an octave out, or you play it. I like that kind of thing. And there's a bit in Pictish Blood that's a great example of it. Again, Pictish Blood is Duncan's song. He wrote all of it. And it's the main lead that I play. It does it once, and then it goes up and does it again. And it does this folky twiddle thing which I like as well. So I'll play it. There's a bit in the middle which I'm going to miss out. I'm going to play the thing sort of as I would play it. I'll play the normal version and then the version up a bit. There's a musical term for that. I can't remember what the fuck it is, but there's a musical term for that. If I remember it or figure it out, I'll post it. But the thing that goes, it starts and then it does the same thing but higher up, which I really like that kind of thing. And we're almost at the end of the song. And there's the folky thing, and then the main lead, and then the main lead up, and then the folky thing up, and then it ends. And it goes something along the lines of. Like that. And my other favourite riff in Pictish Blood, which is one I said I was going to come back to because it has the E chord with the open E, gives it a really kind of big sound, which being a huge fan of Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, I like that kind of sound. And the intro is it's big sounding and it's quite sort of doomy-ish, and it's a really nice intro. So I love the intro riff, and it's something like that. See that E chord? Keep coming back to that. Fuck that up. Well, I just hope I don't fuck up tomorrow. But yeah, that's a few of my favourite riffs from Norderobring songs. A little bit of blues at the start, 6th and 7th and stuff. So yeah, feel free to ask me any questions on any of that. I hope you enjoy this video, get something out of it, or just get a bloody good laugh at the fact that I need a shave and a wash. Yeah, so that's pretty much me, to be honest. Done and dusted for this one. I hope to do no, I was going to try and do a solo EP type of thing, just for a bit of fun. So maybe post some stuff regards to that. That's still in the process. Nearly finished actually, so I'm due to begin recording for that. But at the moment, my main priority is North of the Wall. So for that, I paint on, taps off, get your arses done to the Classic Grand tomorrow to see us. We're on about 5:15, I think. So yeah, Colin. Don't really. I mean, some people sort of have nicknames on YouTube. My YouTube account is Painter 24/7. But I don't really see the point of me having a nickname on YouTube because I mean, how many guys look like this? You know, ginger afro. It's just pointless. So yeah, I hope you get something out of this, or just have a bloody good laugh at it. I'll stick this up on the page. It'll be on YouTube, so feel free to ask any questions, any comments, whatever you like, really. But yeah, stay metal. Catch you soon.